Hello, everybody. Welcome along to the afternoon rabble here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast. It's my day off, Trev. Give me.
That's tomorrow, actually, is it not?
It's tomorrow now. And now I've had to change it all about. So yeah, hello everybody. Welcome along to your afternoon rabble here on the Rangers Rabble podcast. I was going to say Rangers Rabble live stream. I've only done about 2,000 of these. Rangers Rabble podcast. I'm Martin. I am your host, and my co-host today is Trev. As always, Trev, how are you?
I'm good, mate. It's the weekend. Can't complain. We all really know who we're to blame for you not having the day off today. And that is the lovely Ash Handy, because I could have hosted and you could have had another day off or Friday off instead. But she had to pretend she was working really hard. So, Ash,
She's getting lazy, Ash. So she
you're
is.
getting lazy, man. You're old age. Only I
Hope
can
she
say
does.
that. She'll probably still smack me regardless, man.
I hope she doesn't hear this. No, talking about old age. Like I said, Steve, just before we started, I just found out about an hour ago that I need to go to my daughter's school because it's a meet the teacher day, and my daughter decided not to tell us.
Is she embarrassed or
So
something? Is that what's going on? Is that why she
would
never
you
said
not
it?
be? Would you not be embarrassed if I was your dad?
No, you're all right. You're pretty cool, Martin. You give yourself a hard time. You're just a wee bit vertically challenged. But apart from that, you're pretty sound. You're pretty sound. Apart from that, first time I saw you, I was like, he's pretty kind of, he's. You see him on the screen, you're like, I'm not going to mess with him. And then you see him, you go, nah, easy.
I know. And as Vix is saying, Martin, you've turned up to the teacher meeting late as well. I probably will. Probably get in trouble. I hate schools, man. I hated school when I was at it.
Me too.
I hate going to all our school plays. I mean, I love seeing her in it, but I just hate being in a school. I just don't like them. But yeah, so I mean, look, we've kind of discussed just about everything that we can with regards to Tuesday night, with regards to the game at the weekend. We will discuss a little bit more. But I thought yesterday worked really, really well when I asked you to get your questions in. We had more questions than I could pull up. So if you could help us out today, I'm basically asking all of you to do my job for me, is what I'm effectively asking. If you could help me out by sending in your questions on anything Rangers related, that would be very, very handy, and it would make my job so much easier. If you just put a nice big capital Q before your comment so I can distinguish between normal comments and questions, that would be very, very helpful. Now, just before we get into the Rangers stuff, right, Trev, I've become a little bit obsessed, right, with something on TikTok.
Oh, no.
Yes. The members know about this, right? It's called what's it called? Something second date, right? It's done by a Seattle radio station, and it's called Brook and Jubbles in the Morning, right?
Right.
So basically, what they do is people email in, I went out on a date with this person, I thought it went really well, or I've done something and I think I might have messed it up. They won't get back to me. Here's the number. Could you get in contact with them and help me out? Effectively, right?
Fair enough.
I hope nobody is eating.
Oh, right? Drinking all right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel I listened to this just before we came on. I feel like it's a story that needs to be told. This is a Rangers podcast. This is totally inappropriate. This is a Rangers podcast. People are tuning in to listen about Rangers, not about silly conversations on a Seattle radio station. But I feel as if I need to tell this story. So, this guy and this girl were out on a date. Everything was going well. Back to his place. Things are going well. The drinks are flowing. They're smooching, kissing, or as Americans call it, making out, all that sort of stuff, right?
Third base.
I don't think they quite got off a first or second base, right? But anyways, she decides that she needs to use the toilet.
Oh no!
Quickly.
We never cleaned up.
goes
He
to the
left a big
toilet.
shite in there, didn't he? He left a big shite in there, didn't he?
Oh no, she, because they're in his house, so she goes to the toilet, and she does, number 2 quickly, because if you need to go, you need to go, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows this, but it gets stuck in the
Oh
toilet.
no.
Won't flush.
Oh yeah.
It's thingy. So she tries everything she can to get, it away, but she can't get it away. So she tries to use a plastic bag to get it away. And that doesn't work either. She eventually has to go out and get the guy, bring him back in and go, "Can you fix this for me?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'll fix it. The day ends, she goes home, he doesn't get back to her. And so she phones up this radio station to say, "Can you phone this guy and see why he won't phone me back?" I done this thing, and it turns out it was everywhere, in the shower, in the bath. She's tried to dispose of it any way she can, and she wants this guy to go out on a second date with her. Needless to say, there was no second date. But yeah.
Oh wow.
Anyway, I'm addicted. I'm addicted to these questions. Right? I don't know these questions. These stories and stuff.
Well, there's someone in the paper. Who's it that? What's her name in the Sun? That you write in. She's like an agony aunt. Is it?
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Her there, I done such and such, and you're like, nah, that's not real. That's not real. You're at it. You're making up stories now to sell papers. I mean,
yeah.
probably.
Anyway, story over. So
Wow.
let's get back to the show, shall we? Right, I've got quite a few questions that have already come in, so I will get to them in a wee second. Right? Was it love? As it turns out, DNK, no, it wasn't. It really wasn't. It was Deirdre you're thinking about.
Deirdre, thank you, mate. Thank you.
Yes. Right. Apologies, everybody. Right, but it's Friday. It's a bit of fun, and I'm going to make Friday from now on Fun Friday.
Yeah.
So the first 5 or 7 minutes is going to be a nice wee funny anecdote story or whatever, and then we'll get into the football. Because look, let's be honest, folks, it's not been a great start to the season for Rangers, right?
Football shite.
It's really not been a great start to the season. So we need a wee laugh, a wee story, a wee this, a wee that, just something a wee bit different. And I felt like I brung that there.
So did she?
Well, she did, and in spades apparently, in spades. Now people are going to be frantically searching for that, innit?
To quote avid Mirren football selector, it's got a grip in it like a BMX handlebar. If you ever remember that episode when I went round to David Schneden's house and he couldn't get blocked in the toilet and he was trying everything to unblock it, I thought of that sketch as soon as you told me that. Brilliant.
Right, shall we talk Rangers?
Aye, why not?
Just very quickly, Stephen. Well, that's my beef stew lunch in the bin. Thank you, Martin. Apologies, Stephen. Apologies. Right, Trev. The Ben Davies saga appears to be over.
Have we caught up to date with this?
What do you mean you haven't caught up to date with it? It would appear he is on the move to Oxford United.
Yes.
Just a loan, but he's out the door. He's out the door. And the reason that I wanted to kind of bring this up and talk about it, because it's not really massive news. He's not been part of the first team. He wasn't going to get anywhere near it. Do you think Rangers have made the right decision here? And I say this knowing full well that we could bring in another 1 or 2 centre backs. And if we do, then fair enough. This isn't even a discussion. But as we sit right now, was getting rid of Ben Davies before we cemented bringing in another centre back, was that the right move?
Yes. There's more than just Russell Martin that didn't rate him. There's been a couple of gaffers at least that have not rated him. So the proof's in the pudding there. He is not deemed good enough by probably several people at Auchenhowie. And it's a bit like Dill. He suits a certain style of play. in a certain type of league. I don't think he can quite handle it up here with us. But it's like, Dell, you go down south and you play for someone else where the stress isn't as bad and you'll actually thrive. And I'm sure he is actually a pretty decent, even good defender in his own right. Just doesn't suit us. I don't think you should keep someone about for the sake of it, Martin. I know we're needing more security at the back. We really do. It's ridiculous that most of them are loans. It really is. But I still think that people ahead of him, even if they're having mayors, are better than him. And that's a sad thing to admit, but I generally do. So we need to get him off the wage bill, even if it's just for the year, because he'll still be on a decent wage. Probably a good wage, actually. So he needs to go.
He's out of contract at the end of the season. So
Good. We've won a watch. Might only be a Casio rather than a Rolex, but we'll win a watch regardless. So no, I'll take that, mate. Let's use those. We've got a massive squad. It's really worrying, actually, how big it is. And I know we can be carried for so long in terms of wages and that, but then you get to the financial fair play at some point that will come back and bite us in the arse. So
yeah. I was thinking, if we don't bring in another centre back, which I mean, I hope to God that we do.
Yeah.
But if we don't, then we've got Fernandez, Giga, Suter. Really? So, and I know, look, I'm no stupid. I know that when the offer comes in for Davies, you've got to take it while it's there, because it might not be there towards the end of the window, right? So if you can get him off the books, you get him off the books. I just always thought he would be a Russell Martin type player.
I see where you're coming from, actually. His style of play, I wonder. It's a good point, because he came in knowing he's done his homework, obviously, Russell Martin, right? Whether you like him or not, he's watched a bunch of our games up to from January when he came in to see what's what. So he's had a look and went, right, I can work with this player and I can't work with that player. And obviously, we Red fan never even get a look in, never even get a chance. Like, everyone's supposed to get a second chance, but there was a few people he just went, nah. Red Van was one of them. He was another, I think, Davies. He went, I don't think I can work with him and his style of player, whatever it is. So, no, I don't think he is the man for the job. And that's fine. I think that's okay. If you look at someone, you go, me and him are just not compatible at all in football whatsoever. Best you move on. Everyone shakes hands. But it's easier said than done, try to get rid of someone. So I would say, Martin, know that, of course, we need a permanent left back, you know that. But we do need another centre back as well, permanent, instead of this lone pish all the time. So I reckon we need two defenders, good defenders. And then we haven't looked at the rest of the squad, the rest of the team. So get the defenders in.
You just let me go there, didn't you? You just let me go. You didn't say a thing. You just let me go. Shocking behaviour.
Red card, shocking behaviour, Trev.
It's a Friday. We're allowed it. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get to. So I mean, I was just saying there. I can't even remember what I was saying. Forget it. It doesn't matter anymore. You've ruined it, Trev. You've absolutely ruined it. Right. Let's get to some questions. Right. So Kelso. Do we think the 49ers will have demanded a meeting with Patrick Stewart and Kevin Farewell, as well as our manager, Russell Martin, about his future? So do you think the board, or the owners, let's call them the owners, right, because that's what they are. Do you think the owners will have already demanded a meeting, or do you think it's still a wee bit too soon for them to get involved?
I think it's still a wee bit too... I'm being... What I want and what I think will happen, two different things. I think Kelso, no meeting will have been specifically arranged. I think they play the long game. These guys, as we've seen with Leeds United, they know there's a plan in place. Now, they'll probably revisit it at Christmas or close to Christmas, see what's what. And I'm sure maybe they have had a meeting or two since, but I don't think they've necessarily scheduled something because of the recent shenanigans. I hate to say it. So we're not getting rid of the gaffer that easy, unfortunately.
And well, I spoke to obviously Edgar about this on the show that we recorded midweek. And basically his take on it was that he doesn't think there's going to be anything done anytime soon. But he's also of the opinion that, I mean, his initial opinion was there's no chance he gets sacked. There's absolutely no chance. But these owners, they're not stupid, you know. I don't think we've got the kind of owners who'll go, "Well, that's a decision that we've made, therefore that's a decision we're going to stick with because we don't want to be proven wrong." I think, but by the way, I don't think it's far away. And the reason that I say that is, and I hope I'm totally wrong here, right? I hope I'm completely wrong. And I hope I come back on Monday and everybody on Monday's going, "Oh, Martin, how stupid are you, by the way?" But the way that we're playing right now, and I think most Rangers fans would probably agree, I don't see us getting a win on Sunday. I don't see where the win comes from. Although, again, I hope I'm totally wrong. I think the Bruges game's dead in the water. Let's be brutally honest. I think that's well dead in the water. And again, I hope I'm wrong because I hope we win that and I hope we get into the Champions League, but it's dead in the water. And see, in terms of the result in the Old Firm, I don't think it changes anything if we win.
No.
I really, really don't think it changes anything if we win because supporters will go, yeah, but we can beat Celtic, but we're dropping points left, right, and centre everywhere else. So I think Martin's in a really, really tricky position that he needs to win against St Mirren, right? Or all the fans are totally gone. They're all gone, right? Doesn't necessarily mean the board's gone, but all the fans are gone, right? So he needs to win against St Mirren. We need to be a lot better against Bruges. We can't just fold like a pack of cards like we did at Ibrox, right? We absolutely can't. And he has to beat Celtic, Trev, but I don't think it changes anything if he does.
Because it's the age-old thing of this team. We know what this team will do. It can often rise for the bigger games, but then fold against the so-called jobbers, and that's doing a disrespect to St Mirren and the likes. I don't think we'll beat St Mirren either, and I hate to say that. I hate admitting that about our team. I think we'll get a draw, and it'll be one of these kind of dull 1-1, 2-2 things coming back to try and equalise, that kind of thing. Let's just hope St Mirren don't turn up and actually are brilliant on the day because they've been coached pretty well by Stephen Robinson. So we'll see. They're a hard-working team. Everyone's got our number. They know how to break us down, mate. We're so transparent, man. It's so easy to suss us out. It's about how we perform now to actually try and win the fans over. Wins aren't necessarily enough because the damage has been done. And I'm not even just talking about this season, I'm talking about prior seasons. We're sick of it. We need to actually see signs of something. The reason Gerrard got as long as he did is because we were seeing signs of something. And we were a bin fire before, granted. The only reason he got at the time, we were starting to see signs of us going forwards, and that was acceptable. We've seen no signs under any other manager since he came in since, and that's what's pissed us off, in my opinion. So, win, but try and win with a wee bit of style and actually show face in Wednesday, because Big Wilf Marshall wants his money. He wants value for his money when he goes over there. So do it for Wilf if you're going to do it for no one else, Rangers.
I mean, this is a great question, by the way, from Bluebells Are Blue. A great question. Are we favourites for any of the next 5 games right now? Serious question. Right? So, and the fact that we're even discussing this, I think, shows where this team is. So, St Mirren away, Bruges away, Celtic home, Hibs Hearts. Are we right now in the way this team's playing, Trev? Are we favourites for any of those games?
No, actually none, because they're all, with the exception of St Mirren, they're at home, aren't they? Because we get Hibs in the cup and then Hearts at home as well. We're not actually, because they're all decent teams, or you could even say good teams for SPL standards. And this whole thing of, are we good or bad away from home or at home? It's 6.5 now, Martin. I think I got asked this from you before, possibly, if the home and away thing made any difference. And now it doesn't seem to make any difference now. It's just this team and this style of play, home and away, doesn't make any difference. If they're going to be shite, they're going to be shite. So I'm actually concerned. Who was it? Is this Tony Bloomfeld at Hearts? Oh, we're going to try and split yous. Very well could happen. I really hope not.
No, I don't see it. I really don't see it.
Well, I was getting third this season, possibly, mate.
As bad as what we are, we always go through a spell where we pick it up. And the rest of the teams, the reason why I don't think it will happen and it won't happen in the near future is that these other teams, look at Aberdeen last season.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the start they made, right? And then they fell off the edge of a cliff. Look at Hibs last season. Yeah,
squad depth.
Exactly, is my point. So the other teams, I don't think are ever going to be able to be consistent enough to break the old firm. I just don't think they will. And we will eventually pick it up at some point, and we'll go on a very good run, and then we'll get. I mean, I hope this doesn't happen. This is just. I'm just taking this. This is evidence based. We'll go on a very good run, and then we'll drop points in 3 or 4 games in a row, and then we'll go on a decent run, and then we'll drop points, and then we'll go on a decent run, and then we'll drop points. That's to me what will happen. And the decent runs that we go on will be enough for second place. That's what I see under Russell Martin. That's exactly what I see under him, and I hope I hope I am so wrong, and that it starts on Sunday, and the team just gels, and we pump St Mirren 4-0, and we come back and beat Bruges, and then we destroy Celtic, and then we just go on a mad run, and we go on and win the league, and we win all the cups. You know, I hope that happens. I mean, as a non-religious person, I'm praying that happens, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Right. Get some more questions in, folks. Remember, and start your comment with a big, massive Q, so I know that it's a question rather than just a comment. And if I could ask, just nicely, if you could, if you are enjoying the show, give us a like. See if you're not enjoying it, give it a like anyway. And see if you've clicked onto this and you've went, that is one ugly, ugly man. Look at the state of his hair. Look at the beard. He's just horrible. Just horrible. I'm trying my best with Trev, right? I'm really, really trying my best with him. But like anyway, just like, right? It really does help us out. And make sure you subscribe. That really does help out as well. Right, this question from Stephen. Rothwell's movement through the third goal, obviously against Bruges. What is your opinion on his lack of fitness, awareness, and work ethic? I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it's a lack of work ethic with Rothwell. I don't even think it's a lack of awareness. I think fitness might come into it, but I just think he's one of those players who takes about 6 months to start going. Like if it was Football Manager, his acceleration would be 2. And his pace would be about 6.
You're being kind. You're being too generous. Stephen, good cracking question, mate. I've wondered about that as well, because he seems to often come off about the same time, the 60-minute mark, and he does on several occasions look like he's blown out his arse. He really does, and I don't see why when he went through the same pre-season as everyone else, and that includes Danilo, who is he's one of our players that was the most unfit, and if he came through it with more improved fitness than Rothwell certainly should have, I agree. Like it's nothing to do else with his quality or his work ethic, and that he knows how to play for the Russell Martin team. But he's not super old either. What is he, like 30 odd, give or take a year or two? So he's no. I don't think he's that old. So in terms of fitness, maybe it's down to individuality, Martin. Some, like you say, some people will take a bit longer than others to get up to full speed, even with the same pre-season under their belt. The more times he gets and he's managed well, he should be able to play at least one game every week, because we know that the whole thing with him and Raskin playing the same team, the gaffer seems to think they can. I don't think they can. So there is scope to actually change it about and utilise this bigger squad that we've got. But I hope he gets fit soon, because he could be really good. You can see the quality he's got. You can see the quality he's got in bits. He's not consistently brilliant when he's on. So let's hope he comes good to form soon and gets his fitness.
I think the conversations around about Rothwell, I think are just going to go the same way as they went with Hadji, in terms of you can see the quality. You can see the quality the guy's got, but he's as slow as a week in the jail.
Yeah.
He's just so slow. I think Rothwell's actually a little bit faster than Hadji, to be fair. But he's slow, and I think that also makes it look worse because he could be blown out his arse, but his stamina could still be there, and he could still keep going for 90 minutes. Because I've seen people look absolutely knackered after 10 minutes, but they can just keep going and keep going and keep going. I think it's just a lot of it's to do with his pace as well. I really don't think that helps him. Right, quick question for Paul: Vardy or not? He's far better at 38 than what we already have. I think we need to give up on the whole Vardy chat, Trev.
Yeah, you know why? Because that lot across the city were interested in him. He wants to work with his former gaffer. So if anyone's going to be favourites to get him out of us two, it's probably them. Because they're wanting to pull out a couple of signings just to keep their fans happy because they're going rage that they're not spending enough money. Listen, he's quality. We know he's quality. He would score goals for fun here. Problem is, if we thought Jermaine Defoe was good and he was on a good wage when he came to us, Vardy will be on even more. He'll want even more.
I don't think any of the two of us could afford to sign him on the wages. I don't think he takes that much a drop in wages. I really don't.
No. And then if you'd have to play him a lot to try and get your money's worth, even if you could pull it off for a season, right, Martin? And then if you did, then you know the Dessers and the Iggermans of the world are not going to get a sniff. And that's not very fair in them either, especially when Iggerman on paper is our best prospect striker. So it's not a good idea. It's a marquee signing. And the last time we tried that with a marquee signing, look what happened. Thank you, Wales.
So. Yes, thank you, Wales. You're now banned from Scotland, Wales.
Just blame the whole country.
He's ruined Scottish and Welsh, the friendship that we had. Right, we're going to finish up on a question because we are back tonight, by the way, at 7:30 for your Friday night rabble, which we'll get into a lot more things, and I've got some questions here that I might actually keep for tonight. But so we'll get into a lot more depth. The afternoon rabble is just about having a wee bit of rabble in the afternoon, and 9 times out of 10 we talk serious, but when it's me and Trev, it's never going to really happen that way, to be brutally honest with you. So I've got a question here, Trev, that something that you mentioned earlier on, and it's a genuine question from Beep Bop Boop, and this will never happen for me in my lifetime, but it might. If Hearts won the league, or Hibs, or Aberdeen, or whatever, right? But he's put Hearts in it. So if Hearts won the league, would that be the best thing that happened to Scottish football for a long, long time?
Yes. If I'm being impartial, it would, because no one would see it coming and it would be a shot in the arm. But then you've got to look at then why that possibly happened. That is some bloody question, Beep. Jesus Christ, man. The scientists try to figure out all these things in the background. He comes out with a question like that. I think more realistic, for anything, what might happen is what I suggested before, of if we were that pish for one season, that Hearts, if they do really well, could get that second place, because it has happened to us before in my lifetime. I remember it. I can't remember the season, but obviously Barry was with us at the time, and it was a nightmare. So for that to happen, Rangers and Celtic would both have to be pish and say Hearts great. And I'm just, weighing it up. I'd rather put a line in the lottery, let's put it that way. But being brutally honest, Beep, if I'm actually answering your question as I read it here on the screen, technically it would be, because someone else has won it. It's different. There's more attention to the league, all that kind of thing. It would be a good thing. I'm assuming, are you the same, Martin, or are you just thinking that Beep should probably stop smoking illegal substances before he puts questions into the chat?
I know, I don't encourage anybody to do that or not do that before they put stuff into the chat. I encourage everybody to be who they are and do what they want and then put stuff into the chat.
Wow, that was deep. That was deep.
That was, and it wasn't just deep, it was quick. What are we talking about now? I don't know. I'll need to phone up that radio station. See, to be honest, I think it would shine a light on Scottish football for 10 minutes. and then
Yeah.
if it will look into your inner soul. Oh, this is just not a football show today. I think it would shine a bit of light on football we would have what 15 minutes of fame. Scottish
Yeah.
football would be all over the news. And then if it just went back to being us and Celtic, if it just went back to being Rangers and Celtic winning the league, or as the case is right now, if it just went back to Celtic winning the league, then I don't really think it changes much. And again, it would also depend on what I think what needs to happen first, right? If I'm being brutally honest, is that Hearts, Hibs, and Aberdeen need to start performing better in Europe. And by that, I
Oh.
mean they need to start getting to group phases of competitions. I know Hearts have got there and before, and I'm not sure what the permutations are for Europe this year, but I think regularly the smaller teams in Scotland need to start getting to group stages and need to start bringing more money in for them and more money in for the league and start. It's not even just about the coefficient. I just think that Scottish clubs need to out with Rangers and Celtic, mostly Rangers. Let's be honest. I mean, it's not really much of a flex when you can't win the league, but in terms of European football, we're by far the best team in Scotland at European football, right? Because in life that's all that matters until we win the league, and then nobody cares about European football. But the rest of them, they need to start performing in Europe, and by that I don't mean Aberdeen need to go and beat Bayern Munich, or Hibs need to go and put in a good performance against Bayer Leverkusen and get a result. They need to start beating teams in like Latvia and Finland
Yeah.
and Ireland. And you know what I mean? They need to start winning games that are either 50-50, 60-40 in their or the other team's favour. And they certainly need to start winning games comfortably against teams that they should beat. I know that doesn't always happen with us, right? But not one supporter of another football club or a pundit who doesn't support Rangers. Nobody in Scotland can have a go at Rangers for anything to do with European football. Nobody.
No.
Absolutely
can't.
nobody.
I,
We had
I
that.
like
We had that shocking season in the Champions League. It was embarrassing, right? It was dreadful, right? But that was one season. The rest of the seasons in Europe, we've been pretty much consistently good. So we need the
Yeah.
rest of the teams in Scotland to start being consistently good. And then I think once you get that, and then once the teams start to get stronger, then I think you can have the conversation about another team. First of all, like you say, splitting the old firm, and then a team possibly going on to win the league. And if that happened, and say Hearts won it 2 years in a row, and then Rangers won it a year, and then Celtic won it a year, and then Aberdeen came in and won it a year, then I think that's good for Scottish football. Not good for us because we want to win the league every year, of course we do, but that would be good for Scottish football. But winning it 1 year, I don't think it changes much.
No, Martin, the recent investment some clubs have been getting in Scotland is a good thing in terms of your
Yes.
Tony Blooms and whatnot. Obviously, Aberdeen were doing a lot better, getting some investment as well, Hibs, etc. So I'm seeing that, and I'm hoping that actually does something. I think it will. But you're right about the European football and other teams not pulling their weight. And before they come out and go, oh, but the money's not there. I'm sorry, as Martin said, if you're third or fourth in your league, you're a Hibs or a Hearts, and you're up against a team in bloody Liechtenstein or whatever, or any other country, and you're up against their third or fourth or whatever, you try to tell me their league is going to be on a shit ton more money than ours? Probably not. So yous are comparable to someone in that league in that position. You should be doing a lot better. And I've always put these other teams to task, Martin. I really have. I'm getting a bit fed up about it just being mainly us, sometimes them across the city a wee bit, but mainly us. Let's not forget, last I checked, we were 30th in the European coefficient for clubs. I'm extremely, extremely proud of that. And that lot are way down the bloody list, 60th or something, or even less than that. So other teams need to pull the finger out more, and they can't bitch and moan about money. You really need to be doing better and getting to group stages more often. We know Aberdeen will do it, conference at least. And I do hope they do it for Europa League, just for European football.
Yeah.
For coefficient, sorry. I'm not going to just write them off. I hope they do it, and then back to SPL and they get cubbed on a regular basis. That would be nice. But they need to pull the finger out more, Martin. It's getting
What
ridiculous,
I will
actually.
say is I think Dundee United, and I say that with a lump in my throat, I think Dundee United probably performed a lot better in Europe this season than what they have whenever they've been in it previously. I think
Yeah.
Hibs as well, I think have done really well to get to where they've got to so far. I know they're 2-1 down, I think, to Legia Warsaw, but Legia Warsaw is never a team you expect a Hibs to beat. But I think in the future, a Legia Warsaw has to be a team that a Hibs look to beat. I think that's where Hibs and Hearts need to try and get to.
Yeah.
But I think what you have seen this season with the other teams is you have seen improvement. And by the way,
Yeah.
folks, we're going to leave it there, right? It's been a bit of a fun afternoon rabble. We'll be a lot more
Aye.
serious tonight. We'll be a lot more serious tonight at 7:30, right?
I don't know. I'm on it. I don't know, mate.
You're on it at the moment. Depends on how serious I want to be. You might not be on it. But listen, folks, if I could just ask before you leave, before you jump off, please do leave a like and subscribe, and make sure that you share the podcast. Make sure that you like and subscribe and all that good stuff on Facebook and Twitter as well. Trev, thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
And the reason that I'm going right now is this is beaten. It's about to run out of battery. I can't find the other one, so I'm not going to be able to hear Trev in about 2 seconds. So I have to go. So thank you, everybody, and we shall speak very, very soon.